Alright guys, I'm at my friend's house. This is Southern California, zone 10B. We're collecting Cherimoya scions, Annona scions. It's time to graft. Spring's about to come. We're here in March. There's a sweet spot for grafting Cherimoyas, and now is the time. We're gonna collect some scions. We're gonna collect some scions here. What varieties do you have here?
Pierce.
Pierce.
Fino de Jete.
Fino de Jete.
El Bumpo.
El Bumpo. All right, those are top level varieties for Chirimoya.
Yep.
I've heard fantastic things. Oh yeah, here's a Gefner Atamoya. So it's good times. We're gonna get some good scions. We're gonna we're gonna do some grafting onto some other trees. All right, sit tight. All right, guys, here we are. It's the next day. I'm gonna graft onto this tree. I bought this tree as El Bumpo, but it turns out it's not the El Bumpo Cherimoya. I thought it was, but then when I contacted the nursery that sold it, they told me that they got scion wood, of which they thought was El Bumpo, but it's actually not. And that happens from time to time in the nursery trade. So I got some legit El Bumpo scion wood, and I'm gonna graft it onto this branch right here. All right. This tree, I did a video of me planting this tree. It's about 2 or 3 years old in the ground, and it's grown out quite a bit, and it's given me a lot of nice branches we can graft upon. There's already a few grafts on this tree. I'll show you here. Here's one. There's a graft right there, and then here's one graft right here. This is a Pierce Cherimoya. This is a wild Cherimoya tree near my house that is really good Cherimoyas. Down there is a Fino de Jete graft. So we'll add some more scions onto this tree and get a nice multi-grafted tree going on. Those I need for grafting. I got my pruning shears, I got my grafting tape, I got my trusty utility knife, and of course I got my scions. I stored these overnight in the fruit and vegetable part of the refrigerator. You can keep these scions up to 2-3 weeks if you put them in that part of your refrigerator. So we're here in Southern California. All right, there's a sweet spot for grafting Cherimoyas, Annonas, and for us it's late winter, early spring. That's February, March, April for us. That is the time when Cherimoyas start to lose their leaves, and then they're deciduous for about a month, and then immediately get their leaves back. And that's the perfect optimum time to do some grafting, and we're here in that time now. It's March, so it's a good time to do some grafting of Cherimoyas. All right, let's get started. So I'm gonna graft right here. This branch is perfect for some grafting. Chirimoya, Annonas, Cherimoyas, in my experience, they're very forgiving with about where to put a graft. You could put it here, it'll take. You could put it way here, then close to the main trunks, it'll take. You could put it pretty much anywhere you want on the tree. It seems to be very forgiving. The other fruit trees, you got to be strategic. You got to cut back a certain part, graft it on another stem. You got to redirect the energy of the tree to graft to get the right graft. But in my experience, Annonas are not like that. They're a great, fun tree to graft upon because you can get really flexible with them. All right. So I got some El Bumpo scions, and what I'm looking for, all graft. What I'm looking for is these. You see those little buds? That's the bud that we want. That's going to be a new leaf if the graft takes in there too. It's like a little fuzzy little bumpy thing right there. And this is a good sign. And it looks to be like over here, it looks to be good fit, good size match, good diameter match. So it's a good spot to do some grafting. But you don't have to have an exact matchup. Like I can make this work. See how the scion is much thinner than the rootstock? We could still make it work by doing some modifications to our graft. But since I have a good matchup here, I'll use this scion to do some grafting, all right? So what I'm gonna do, take some grafted tape as usual. I'll put the link for this grafted tape in the description. You guys can find out where to get it. I'm gonna stretch this tape, and that stretch action is very important. That's what locks in the moisture, humidity, keeps the scion alive while it's fusing with the rootstock. And I'm gonna wrap the whole thing except the bottom, which I'll use for grafting, for cutting. I left this last inch, the bottom, exposed, because that's the part I'm gonna cut and I'm gonna insert it right into there. All right. And then, since I cut this yesterday, I want a fresh tip, so I'll cut off the very end, and now we got a fresh tip to do some grafting with. So I'll come here, and I'm gonna cut this branch. I'll cut it back right there. I'll cut it back a little bit. Basically, I want to be, in the most ideal way, I want to be as close to this main trunk as possible. And we can graft on the side stem, but we want to be closer to this main trunk as possible. So I'm going to wiggle my knife so I'm in control. Get that wiggle action going. And I'm trying to find the middle of the stem. And I'm going to slowly wiggle my knife. Slowly, slowly, slowly. I'll cut about 1 inch down. 2.5 centimeters. And that's it. Yeah, that's a good cut. Here we go. One cut. Flip it over. And that's exactly what we want. We want this arrow shape. Let me show you what I'm talking about. There's that arrow shape I'm looking for. There we go. There's that arrow shape I'm looking for. And a nice flat cut. V shape is what we're going for. There we go. All right, now we're gonna insert it. And it's like fitting a jigsaw puzzle. Exactly like fitting a jigsaw puzzle. And looks like we are good to go. The idea here is I don't want any kind of air. I don't want to see air right there. I want the two to touch. I want the scion to be touching the inside of the rootstock. Let me show you a side view. There's the side view, and it's very critical to get a smooth surface right here. You don't want any bumps. You want them to line up exactly like a jigsaw puzzle, and it looks like they're lined up here. Let me show you the bottom side. As long as one side is touching, we are fine, and we're ready. And it's just like that. You see the little white part exposed right here? That's fine. That's normal. That's perfectly okay. All right, we'll take more grafting tape, stretch it, of course, and start wrapping our cut. And I'm gonna hold the sides of the cut of the stem to stabilize as I'm wrapping the tape. Just like that. Hold and wrap. More tape. Stabilize. And then wrap. And my goal here, what I'm trying to do here is cover all parts of the cut, all parts of the scion as well. Just I want to make sure there's no air gonna get in here to dry the scion out while it's fusing. And I want to lock in the moisture and humidity. I put a few layers of this tape around the part where I cut. I put like 4 or 5 layers. And then lastly, I'm gonna take my fingers, squeeze. I'm gonna squeeze to really reinforce the contact between the scion and the rootstock. And that is pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. We're done. Now comes the hard part, is the waiting game. You have to be patient. It's the hard part. I don't like waiting. I want instant results, but in the world of nature and trees and stuff, it just takes time. I'm gonna continue to graft this tree. I have some good amount of scions, so I'll put some grafts on the different part of the tree, and hopefully we get a few to take. All right. All right, everybody. Here we are, 7 weeks later, almost 2 months later, and look, graft has taken. Yes. All right. Good times. I can tell it's taken. Look, nice new leaves bursting through the grafting tape. Good leaf bursting through, and look. The tape itself is beginning to disintegrate from the part where we cut. I'll move this tape away a little bit Let me move this tape away a little bit so you guys can see how the graft is healed. Let me get rid of that a little bit so you can see. There it is. Look how it's stuck now. They're stuck together. The scion is stuck to the rootstock, and the wound has healed quite well. It's calloused over. Everything's looking nice. Good signs, good signs. Let's walk over here. Let me show you the other grafts I did. This one is taken too. And oh look, I think the tape is beginning to disintegrate also. This is the Bumpo graft, and it's already flowering. Look, there's a little flower coming out. Oh, and another one right behind it. Pretty cool. Nice. The Chirimoya graft is just starting to wake up. That's a good sign right there. That little leaf is starting to bud and break through the tape. This Chirimoya graft is looking okay. No signs of growth yet. And then let me show you up there where I did more Bumpo Cherimoya grafts. There, it's taken as well. There's some leaves bursting through, and then way up there at the top, it's taken also. There's some leaves little flowers and leaves bursting through the grafted tape right where the tip of my forefinger is. So there it is, folks. Chirimoya grafts have taken. It took a little while grafting around spring. It can take a little bit longer time because of cooler weather, but the results are in, people. There it is. All right, everybody. If you like this video, give me one of these, a thumbs up, give me a like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know how your grafts are doing. Let me know how your grafts are growing. I'd love to hear it. And have an awesome day. Thanks. Bye.